Eastern Veterans Trust, good evening, good afternoon, sorry. Welcome. I just thought best opportunity I'm going to have in Saturday to get word out about what's going on, what we've been up to now, because I'm about to go on photography in about half an hour with the photography group, and then tomorrow I'm not really in work, and then I'm away on Saturday. So thought this is the best opportunity just to let you know exactly what's been going on and stuff like that. So welcome to me corner in the office at work here, down at the Veterans Hub. Basically, just continuing on really from Sunday. The last time you heard of us on a video where obviously we just come off the back of the Great North Run. That's been absolutely immense. Like I said on Sunday, been lots of comments towards me this week from people in the trust about how tired I looked on Sunday. Yeah, it was a long day, so 11 hours we did. 11 hours at the Great North Run, which was absolutely truly worth it. It was absolutely amazing. And thank you to everyone who's commented, everyone who ran for us, and obviously the staff have been there on that day once again. The money's still coming in, so I don't have a final figure at the moment from the Great North Run. But this week, everything else has been run as normal. To be honest with you, we've had all our groups on all week. We've had the walkers have been out up the stadium like for the Sunderland EFC Breakfast Club, which was absolutely amazing. David Webb, referee, Premier League referee last year, Championship this year. Listened to him and his stories and stuff like that was really, really good. We've had the art club on. We've had the allotment on, and tonight we've got the photography, and that leads us on to tomorrow, where we've got Friday back as normal. Tomorrow we've got the bus going out in the morning. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much. So we've got the bus going out as normal tomorrow for Friday. Lunch tomorrow for Mates and Bates, done with the Leon Kennedy Centre, is going to be barbecue chicken sandwiches. I think it's chips and corn on the cob. So that's lunch tomorrow, but the groups will be on as normal. So tomorrow morning we will have the craft group on. We will have the Mollo making group going on as well. Lots of brews and chats for people that want to hang around the foyer and stuff like that. And the domino handicap will be on tomorrow. We'll have a little bit of a raffle going on in the trust as well. So all that will be going on as normal on Friday tomorrow, and then Saturday this week is going to be coffee morning for anyone that wants to come in on Saturday morning. I do believe it's Sharon and Jeanette in on Saturday morning, and you will be able to on Saturday you'll be able to obviously have a brew, have a bit of a chinwag, might have some bacon butties going on at the same time as well. So that's going to be happening on Saturday morning at the Veterans Trust. But we've got some other stuff coming up as well. So we've got Bonkers Bingo, that's coming up on the 27th of September. Now you might have seen the post on Facebook. The tickets are for sale now. They're on our website. There's no actual physical tickets. Once you buy a ticket, your name goes on the list. Then on the evening, we tick you off, give you your bingo cards. It's at the barn in the mill. Thank you so much to Matthew and all the team down there for the support they're giving us at Eastern Veterans Trust. It's absolutely immense. So to have that support's really, really nice. And so that's where it's going to be at. It's at the barn in the mill on the 27th. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a great night. You'll be glad to know it's not me on stage hosting it. It's Matthew himself. We'll have a raffle on the evening, and it's just a massive fundraiser for us again. On the 27th of September, and that leads us on to Oktoberfest. So Oktoberfest is on the 25th of October. 25th of October, again, we're going to be at the barn in the mill. For Oktoberfest, we're all going to be done it in fancy dress. If you came last year, we were here at the centre. This year we're at the barn in the mill. Last year was brilliant. We had loads of fun and games and fancy dress and all that sort of stuff. Well, this year we're going to have it all again just down at the mill. So we're going to have a few more games, a bit more entertainment, some music going on, and plenty of German beer, because I like German beer. DC Cuts, the charity is amazing. Not all heroes work here, so thank you very much. That's very, very nice. And DC Cuts does our haircuts, which will be coming up on a Friday in the next couple of weeks, and I'll keep you updated when that happens. So we've got that going on down at the barn in the mill again for Oktoberfest, and then if I just look at the board, on the 14th of December is going to be our Veterans Christmas dinner, and I cannot believe I'm talking about Christmas right now. But the Veterans Christmas dinner is going to be happening on the 14th of December, and we're going to start taking names for the Veterans Christmas dinner real soon. So while we're talking about fundraisers and stuff like that, it's like, had a question this week, why do we fundraise? So that's a question someone's asked us this week is why do we actually fundraise? So we fundraise for a number of reasons. Um, Basically, so we can provide the services to the veterans and the veterans' families that we do. And that's the main reason. We're not government funded, we're not local authority funded or anything like that. We rely on fundraising, we rely on the likes of the Veterans Foundation, the National Lottery, the Postcode Lottery, and the other funders who fund us throughout the year. There's a few of them that give us repeat funding, such as the ABF, the Army Benevolent Fund. We're on a 2-year programme with them at the moment. We're on a 2-year programme with one of our funds with the Veterans Foundation, and we've just had another fund off the Veterans Foundation as well. The National Lottery, we've been on a 3-year fund with them for the minibus and stuff like that. So that's why we do it. Then people say, well, what are your core services? And I say, well, it's not just groups and going out and doing the evenings as well. So we have lots that go on at East Down Veterans Trust, and everything we do is based around mental health. So that's the main point I want to get over. Everything we do is based around mental health. So most people know that we've got our counselling service, which we're very, very proud of. We've now got six counsellors here. They're fully qualified, level 5, degree standard qualified, and I'm one of them. So, and you know, they're absolutely amazing, and the results they get is unbelievable. Last year we had over 200 veterans and veterans families come through our service, and the results they got from that was brilliant. The service was rated 4.9 out of 5. So it just shows, you know, the support that they give in the veterans community through the counselling and the talking therapies is really, really good. But before they get to that stage, we've also got the caseworkers here. Caseworkers, when someone first comes into service, everyone gets allocated a caseworker. So once you've been allocated a caseworker, that caseworker is your point of contact within East Down Veterans Trust, and they'll help and support you with lots of practical support. So we're talking the likes of housing, we're talking the likes of food and fuel poverty in some cases. Some people need help with white goods, some people need help with debts, some people need help with benefits, with PIP claims, with armed forces compensation, with armed forces pensions, all that sort of stuff the caseworkers are constantly helping people with, as well as doing check-in phone calls with people to make sure they're all right if we haven't seen them for a few days, you know, and if we're worried about anyone, we're a point of contact for the families as well, through the caseworkers. And what they do is an absolutely immense job. And again, that's linked with mental health. So if you imagine someone comes in with a housing problem and they say, for example, if we had a homeless person coming in, so if we had a homeless person coming in, our first priority is to get a roof over their head, wherever that may be. So the first place we go is down County Council. We put a duty to refer into the council, or if there's someone in Sunderland or Newcastle, it's all linked on a North East portal. We put the duty to refer in first of all. Then after that, we look for community-based housing or private letting. We can talk to private letting agencies, or we can work with our friends at the Armed Forces Outreach Service. Stephen Winter is our point of contact for this part of Durham. And then you've got Spencer, who does the other side of Durham. Armed Forces Outreach Service, they do all the community-based housing. They're absolutely brilliant. They sit within the housing groups, such as Believe Housing, and they help us get so many veterans into community-based housing. It's unbelievable. It really is. You know, so that's just one example there of how a caseworker can help and support someone. Now, if they help and support someone in that way, where they're getting them housing and getting off the street, can you imagine being homeless and having that worry in your mind? We call it the stress bucket. So the stress bucket could be overflowing. Our caseworkers have then gone out, worked with another organisation, helped get that person in a house again, in community-based housing, so that relieves the stress coming down. So, like I say, everything is related to mental health here. Everything we do, from the caseworkers to the counsellors, and not forgetting the social inclusion programme. So every week you hear us come on and say, yeah, on a Monday we've got the allotment on a Tuesday we've got the art one, on a Wednesday we've got the walking group, on a Thursday we've got the photography, and so on and so on. Yeah, that's all based around mental health as well, because social inclusion is really, really good for you. So if you're a veteran or a veteran's family and you've had that lifestyle of living in the veterans camp, living in the veteran community, in the armed forces community, should I say, living in Germany where you work, you sleep, you socialise with the same people all the time. All of a sudden you come out the forces through that transition and you're just sitting at home. So when you're just sitting at home, that's when your mind starts running away with itself. And that's when we can often see the onset of mental health and mental illness starting to kick in. So we created this massive social inclusion program that's fully based around mental health to help people and support people. And we noticed that very early on from starting as a charity 5 years ago. And that's now why we've got a program a group on from a Monday to a Saturday, and then in addition to that, we do the family trips. We've done Normandy this year. We've done fish and trips previously. You know, we've done all these sorts of things because we know the benefit it brings to veterans and their families as well. You know, and the families is a big one. We always want the families to be involved in what we do. It's not just about the veteran and the individual that may be struggling at that time, because secretly, indirectly, the families also struggling as well. So our doors are open to all families of all veterans, and the support is there. You don't have to be a veteran to get help and support from our caseworkers. You don't have to be a veteran to get help and support from our counsellors, and you don't have to be a veteran to come to our social inclusion groups. You just have to be a veteran's family as well, because so often the veterans' families are the forgotten ones. Yeah, and I hope that we're talking there is just give you a quick overview of everything we do at East Down Veterans Trust. You know, and that's why we fundraise. We fundraise so we can provide these services. We can provide the services that are there for the veteran, and continue to do that as well. We want to continue to do that over the next 10, 15, 20 years. I've been talking to a local authority today, that's not in Durham, that's somewhere else, that's very, very keen on us to take the services we hear and potentially put them in their local authority as well, because they haven't got anything of the standard we're providing in their local authority. So that's a conversation I'm going to have next week when I go down to speak with them face to face, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to do something along those lines with them next week and going forward as we go. But yeah, it was just a quick overview of everything going on. So I hope that little rambling there has give you a sort of an insight of why we do things, why we have caseworkers, why we have counsellors, and why we have the social inclusion program and what they actually do. Okay, that's the really important thing, I think, is like what they actually do. I'll do some more detailed videos on the caseworkers and on the counsellors and the social inclusion program. I'll put them on our YouTube channel, so everyone can go on there and actually see. I'll put the forms on there that we fill in when they first come in. But it's really successful what we do for the veteran community. If it wasn't, we'd change it, but it actually is, and we see the results from that. You know, with the social inclusion program as well, we've got 2 minibuses sat outside. They go out, especially on a Friday, go out and pick people up, bring them in, but also they're there if we want to do a family trip. So if we wanted, for example, during the summer when we want to go down to Whitby, we can just jump in the minibus and go. We don't really have to worry about it. When we go down next year to London, we're not taking the minibuses this time, we're actually taking a coach trip. So our trip that we've got on to London next year, where we're saying, yeah, I think it's about £300 a head, which goes on the 10th of April and comes back on the 13th. If anyone wants to go, 3 nights in London, stay in a hotel. Loads of us are doing the London landmarks fundraising for East Down Veterans, but everyone else can come down there. That's breakfast, evening meal, 3 nights in a hotel, and transport for 300 quid a head. You're not going to get that anywhere else. That's no profit to us. That's actually what it's costing. We don't make anything from that, you know. But that's, again, that's all social inclusion and coming down. And if you're in London this year with us, you'll have seen how amazing it was. It was absolutely brilliant. So we know the full benefit of social inclusion and doing the groups that we do. And yeah, so that's a quick overview. If anyone's got any questions, you can obviously give us a shout. I'm here in the Veterans Trust most days. Not too much tomorrow because I've got my son going back to university, and then Saturday I've got to go down to London to watch Sunderland smash Crystal Palace. So anyway, that's me for today. That's what's going on. Bonkers Bingo, Oktoberfest, Christmas party, and then we'll start kicking into 2026. Can't believe I'm saying that. Big lad, but brilliant. Thank you very much, Bick. Always a pleasure, and I hope to see you soon in the photography group. So you might be sat outside waiting for us. Okay, that's us done for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all real soon. Cheers now. Ciao.